Kia ora. Welcome to Neat and Not by the Sea. My name is Catherine. My pronouns are she, her, and this is episode something.
Kia ora. My name is Victoria. Welcome to our Flosstube video.
So we disappeared. It's been a month. We didn't come a fortnight ago because
My fault.
you were exhausted. And then I had every intention of recording on my own, and it just didn't happen. Yeah.
No.
I couldn't walk the 3 meters from my bed to the sofa to get the stuff.
It's just too much sometimes.
Too much. So we didn't record. And we weren't going to record today because I was exhausted, but I rallied.
She did. She came through. Whereas
Yeah.
last week it was like Tuesday. I was like, Catherine, I'm not going to be able to film this week.
Yeah. That's all right. I've had a birthday.
You have had a birthday. Happy birthday. I'd forgotten.
Yeah, I don't do celebrations. Martin and I didn't do anything, although he was so lovely. He got me flowers from the garden. Still flowers from the garden.
Nice.
He got me a lovely little bouquet of flowers, and when I arrived, he'd set the table. Sometimes we don't eat at the table anymore because the kids are not home. So we'll eat on the sofa sometimes. Sometimes I eat in my bed. But he'd laid the table with tablecloths and napkins like we like to, and there was flowers, and then he'd made a Chinese stir fry, which is always delicious.
Yeah.
So we have a new rule at home. It's not a rule, it's a preference. Where we have the little Chinese bowls.
Yeah.
But if it's a spoon thing, we're using Chinese spoons.
Oh, they're very deep. Nice.
Yeah, because I collect Chinese spoons now, and I'm trying to build a collection not the same. Mm-hmm. I have 6 now. I really ought to stop, but I figure I can go to 8.
12 is a good number.
Well, 8 for the time being, because, you know, my young kids, my 2 daughters don't have partners. So whatever. Anyway, so, and I know he doesn't like eating with those spoons because they're a struggle. But I'm all about aesthetics, and they're so pretty. Anyway, he'd laid the table with the bowls and the spoons. It was very cute.
Lovely.
So, yeah. And I went on a walk with Christina because she lives in Dunedin. I was really tired. I fell asleep on the way home. I've been unwell. I've been on antibiotics.
Oh, no.
Which has been years since I was on antibiotics. I went to see the doctor. You know how you have to make an appointment like 2 weeks in advance.
Yes.
Now? So I made an appointment to talk about something else, sort of perimenopause related. And it just so happened that my appointment date was when I was really struggling with a sore throat. And she said, because I'd burnt the roof of my mouth as well because extra treats. And that was painful for a while. It was with Thai curry. You know, the coconut stays really hot. It's totally my fault.
But you're just hungry and it's the end. It smells so good.
No, it was totally my fault because I had put some aside because the pan was too full. So I thought, if I mix them both, it'll be cool enough. It wasn't. But anyway, I just happened to see the doctor on the day, and she said, I don't think it's a bacterial infection, but I'll give you a prescription in case. If it gets worse, go and get the antibiotics. Anyway, that was on Monday. Tuesday night, we're off on a trip, and I just thought, I just can't take this earache anymore. So we went and we got the antibiotics, and I finished on Monday. I do feel better. I am much better than I was. So anyway, on the Sunday, the day before my birthday, we actually went for a walk, and then I said to Martin, I'm just going to sit in the back because I was in the camper. Asleep, and then I went home, got into bed. That was the end of the day for me. So I think that was it. You, however, you've had loads of adventures.
I can't remember them all, but the reason I was so tired 2 weeks ago and couldn't film is because I was in the depth of my week-long class with Green Talbot. So I've made some amazing progress.
That is proper Anne of Green Gables talk. The depth of...
Yeah. I've done no stitching since the class, but I left the class so inspired, and I was going to come back, and I was going to do like a flower every night, and I just haven't done anything. My house, it took me 2 weeks. No, it took me good 6 or 7 days after the class to get my house clean, because although I wasn't home, somehow my house turned into a bonfire. So
also Victoria says that, but your house is never maintained. You go from catastrophe to catastrophe.
Yes, I do. I do.
That's like your MO.
I do know, tidy everything up before you go to bed. My house just gets so bad that I then clean it, and then it gets so bad,
and then it becomes like a 6-hour event.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I spent all day on Saturday cleaning.
I need to hire Martin out. He wouldn't appreciate it. So anyway, your class.
The class was amazing. The first 3 days we were putting the book together. Now, the class started on Monday morning. I washed and blocked. I finished stitching on the Saturday night, and I washed and blocked the cover and spine and stuff on the Saturday. So I was ready to go for class, but with no extra time.
And much sleep?
Not much sleep, no. No. So
you got it done.
I got it done. That's great.
And you work full time, so I think that's an achievement.
Yeah, it was done. You know, we got there on time. We weren't late.
Cool.
Then I had to go to work. They have a rest day so that the people can recover. I went to work and did a full day at work.
Yeah, everybody else went and had like a lie down.
So I go to work. I haven't got that much leave.
None. She has none.
No, it's true. I have none.
Yeah.
And then the next 2 days, so Friday and Saturday, were the animal panels, which I'll show you the one I've started in class. And then I was very lucky on the Sunday, I was invited to go and do another class because I got my casket.
Lucky.
I got my casket, and I've put my 2 front panels that I finished sort of a year ago in my casket.
Oh, so not everybody got to go to that bit?
No, because she won't post the caskets because they're too valuable, and she's had really bad luck with posting before. So she just brings a pile over with her when she comes. So I was very lucky to be in that group of people who got their caskets in this group.
How does she pick them?
Whoever's finished the most panels.
Oh,
so I really feel like people have completely finished their boxes. People have done like 5 or 6 panels. I've only got 2. I think technically I should have been kicked off to the last one, which will be in November. But one of the women, her husband's been unwell, and she wasn't comfortable having another day away from him. So I got in there.
Great. I mean, poor lady.
Yeah. Silver linings.
Yeah. So, great. So you've got one more session with her in October?
One more session in November.
Right, and that'll be the end of it.
That will be the end of it. That's for the knot garden and the box construction class.
But your box is constructed.
Oh, so these wee animals that we're making up go on little boxes that go in the big box.
Ah, okay.
And so these are like, I assume that the base is like ragboard or, cardboard, expensive cardboard. Cover it with fabric and then stitch them together cardboard. And, like cool. Picture frame is used, so it's acid free and I don't know, whatever else picture frame is.
Archival quality.
That's the word.
Mm. That's cool.
Yeah.
Great. I was just gonna say, you've just made me think of like the beautiful old-fashioned antique things, and I'm going to Europe on Friday.
I had forgotten.
Yeah, she had forgotten. She was like, "Oh,
what are you doing for the long weekend?"
Yeah, it's a long weekend in New Zealand. All that to say, got a house sitter.
Lovely.
But normally I would be like, tell me where to go. I'm going to all of the UK. I'm literally going to all of the UK, not Northern Ireland, but I'm going to the UK, Denmark, the Faroes, a couple of islands off Scotland, Denmark and Sweden. And I was thinking, it's the sort of trip where I would have gone to the V&A Museum and there would be caskets there, but I don't have time in London. I literally have no time in London. But I am going to be going to the Ruthven Craft Centre in North Wales. So I'm going to be in South Wales, and on the way to Sheffield, we're doing a massive detour. Martin is not pleased, so that I can go to the Ruthven Craft Centre.
Nice.
And he said, well, you will have to drive. I was like, all right, darling. I always get my way in case it's not obvious. But if you have any recommendations before I fly out, we'll post these tonight. So if you have any recommendations, please put them in the comments so that I can try and see if I can. We're driving from England to Wales, back to England, all the way to Scotland, to Glasgow. So if there are detours, do let me know.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Yeah. What else have you been doing?
Class, knot stitching, got a bit of puzzling in. And
someone had asked what size puzzles you do, but because you don't read the comments,
yeah, Catherine's got it. Yeah.
I just had a moment where I was like, I'm tired of being your secretary,
That's
so I
fine.
didn't
That's
tell
fine.
you.
Well, you're telling me
So
now.
I'm telling you
I
now.
will answer. So, individuals for speed puzzling, generally 500 pieces. Teams, generally 1,000 pieces. Teams of up to 2 to 4. So a lot of the puzzles I do are 500, but we do the odd 1,000 piece as well.
There you go. Answered.
And I've also got like a 2,000 piece, and back in the olden days I had an 8,000 piece puzzle, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. And so you do it speed-like.
Yes, so speed puzzling is what I do. So my 500 piece puzzle, I think the quickest I've done one is maybe 38, 42 minutes, something like that.
Okay.
And the slowest one I've done is like 6 hours. So, you know, it's very picture dependent.
Yeah, because some of them are designed to be tricksy.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
So the one that took me forever was basically, you know, a black and white photograph with one coloured rose on it, sort of thing. And,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah. Cool.
shades of grey.
Yeah.
It's lots of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I know so many people, and I notice, because Victoria talks about it, I now notice it when I go to people's houses. It's like, oh, they're a puzzler. But I don't know anybody else that does speed puzzling. I'm just spotting like a fish thing that you've got in your kitchen. That's kind of cool.
Ah,
What's that?
I'll get it and I'll show you.
It's like a piñata.
Yeah, no.
It's like a kid's toy. But of course orange, so I'm very attracted to it.
You're gonna roll your eyes.
Oh my god, it's plastic.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool though.
This is Flappy Fish Pokemon. Except I hang it, it's supposed to be like a pot thing, but I've just never, not a pot thing, a plant thing. I've never put the plant in it. This was a gift. It was,
I am eagle-eyed. I always spot new things in Victoria's house.
I've had it. I got it for Christmas like 2 years ago.
Oh really? I've not spotted
It
it.
used to hang over by the hot water cylinder, but when I got my new fridge, I shifted
Also,
it.
of course I hadn't noticed that.
Yeah, it's shifted.
I don't snoop. It's just like if it's within my thing,
Please, I would
notice
snoop.
it. Great colour.
3D printed from my brother-in-law. But I think my sister organised it.
Is it plastic? I mean, I know plastic is like lots of things, but is
Yes,
it
it is.
plastic
It's
from
plastic.
corn?
I don't know.
Because they make plastics from things other than oil. Like
I don't know. I'll find
petroleum.
out.
I mean, it's still not good for the earth because you can't. It won't. You know, it's still a plastic.
It is still a plastic, but I mean, let's face it.
It's kind of interesting.
It's very cool. And I painted it. So I have the yellow and
Victoria
the white.
is a woman of contrasts.
I am. Because I'm just about to show you my 16th century embroidery box.
Exactly. It's like, what? Okay, so live things. I have signed up for pottery classes.
Ooh, I think that's new.
I'm surprised I hadn't texted you. Okay, so I have found a potter that has moved to Waikouaiti recently, like in the last year, and I'd heard twice in like conversation with other people that she's setting up a pottery studio, and so I messaged her on Instagram, as one does when one is a teenager, and I was like, hi, I live in Waikouaiti, I heard that you're gonna do classes, can you put my name down for a list, blah, blah, blah. Long story long, she said, what do I want to do? And I said, I want to do wheel, but possibly hand building. And she said, I like to teach wheel one-on-one. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Because I'm a naughty child. I need to be kept short leash for me. And so when I come back from Europe, I'm starting pottery classes.
That's so exciting.
So that's really cool. And of course, the way my brain works is that as soon as I've signed up for something, I'm like, ooh, painting. I'm very interested in painting.
Yeah, I thought you were doing painting classes.
Oh, that was like maybe 3 years ago now?
No, but I thought you'd redone it, or were you just catching up with a friend?
No, I just catch up with my friend once a month and
Yeah.
we do painting. So
That might be what I'm thinking of.
so I caught up with her on Saturday. We did painting and I gave her a quilt. So we've done that, but we've also like stepped it up a notch. So we're now doing like sketching. So I've got my sketch kit for Europe. I've set it all up. I've got like even like a little bottle, like glass water bottle spray thing and everything. So my goal is every time I sit down for a coffee, whether it's in someone's house or in a cafe or whatever, I will do a sketch. Just
Lovely.
a rough sketch.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. But I've discovered an artist. I love her style. She's like shonky wonky, like everything I love about it. I might do a class with her. She does online classes.
Nice.
So I might sign up. We'll see, because I always have too many ideas. So that's me coming up, like future Catherine doing things. So that's really cool. So yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. So I think that's like, yeah, I don't know, I just can't do textile classes like you, but I can totally do classes for things that are just like, I'm not very good at.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you've probably said this, because the textile stuff is your primary craft. You know it so well.
I do.
That you
Like I
don't take instruction well.
Yeah, I don't take instruction well.
You know how you like to do it.
And also I know how to do it. I'm not interested in doing it perfect. I find it really boring. Like I love museum quality. Like the stuff that Victoria does is beautiful. I have zero interest in replicating it.
Yeah.
But I love going to a museum to see it. And so the idea that someone will expect that I do a perfect finish, I just think it's so tedious. And then you would think, oh, but why don't you do a class when it's like all shonky wonky? It's like, well, I don't need a class for that. I can do shonky wonky. Like that's like,
Yeah, that's your jam.
that's what I do. So, but you know, how to throw on a wheel. It's like, yeah, I need
awesome.
someone to teach me. Yeah, so I'm doing that.
That's awesome.
So I'll keep you posted. So anyway, I don't have a lot to show, and you have a lot of like detail to share with us.
Yeah, I've just got 3 things. Shall we just do bounce back and forth?
Sure, but you start.
I'll start.
I will take a commercial break. Let's showcase my fork brooch though.
You do that.
Which is fabulous.
So
Also, I love how I'm getting it. Like perimenopausal Catherine wears loads of necklaces to work. It's great. You can hear me coming. I'm gonna go and get some more hot water.
All right. So I will start by showing you all these are the animal panels class that I have just done. So this is a camel and a bunny rabbit and a squirrel with a big fluffy tail and a deer. So these are the 4 animal panels that I will be doing over the next.
Is that a camel?
That's a
That
camel.
is random.
Love a camel.
Yeah,
Over the next few months. Now these animals were designed to fit in a box that we'll be doing in the box making class. They go inside the box with the knot garden embroidery on top. But because they're so beautiful, you can also just put them on the lids of other boxes. It's gorgeous. I'm hopefully going to do 2 so I can have them on the lids of boxes.
Also, can I just ask the dreaded question?
Yep.
Are you going to do a practice one and then a real one?
No, there's no practice ones in
thank
here. I was
God.
gutted.
Oh, no.
So the class is all 4 panels, but this is the only one I started on the camel because the camel supposedly is the hardest one because it's got the most lumps and bumps and increases, decreases sort of things. So that there is 2 days worth of class.
Quite raised.
It is very raised.
Does it have felt inside or is it just...
No, it's bits of the thread. So you just cut up bits of the thread, your offcuts and stuff it in.
Oh, okay.
But the camel, as you can see, like I haven't stuffed his body yet. He's still detached.
Oh, show me.
Okay. So I've still got to
Oh, so
continue down.
you're just going to stuff...
You stuff him, but his leg is
Is
stuffed.
this needle lace?
This is needle lace. Yeah.
Oh, did you say that?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
But it is needle lace. There's my camel. And he obviously needs some eyelashes and things as well.
I do have to say one of the things that I loved in India was all the camels with their tassels and things. Yeah. It's pretty cool. And all the trucks, which I think comes from camels being tasseled.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to show you, but I'm going to tell you about my quilt. So I finished my quilt that I was making for my friend Sally. Have I already talked? Because I've done the one in Spanish already.
No, this is your first time.
I finished a queen-size quilt for my friend Sally. I've posted on Instagram, NZCat26. However, I'm taking an Instagram break. I won't post anymore for 5 weeks. But my friend was thrilled. So thrilled that I said, I need to take a photo of you for Instagram. It's the least you can do for me. She was like, all right. She doesn't do social media. So she was like, all right. She was thrilled. She's not a maker, but she's a very dear friend of mine. So I was so happy to make something like that for her. She called it Taonga. I
Oh.
was like, oh. Taonga means treasure in Te Reo Maori. I was very touched. And then she was like, my daughter's going to try and steal it. I was like, well, you can also give it to her if you want to, because, it's her babies. She said, nah, she can inherit it. So yes, all the fabrics were secondhand. The wadding was brand new because my friend's not a maker and I didn't want to use secondhand or blanket just in case, like, she treated it in a, like,
Yeah,
she's
shrinkage
gonna
or
she's
something.
gonna
Yeah.
put it in the washing machine at some point.
Yeah.
I don't think she has a tumble dryer, but I don't know. She might have. I need to check. But yeah, she was thrilled. She couldn't believe. So my friend has very different taste to me, like most people. And she likes calm colors. Her house is beautiful and very elegant. It doesn't have shocking pink windows, for example. And she likes green. So I said to her, like, I still have to cater to my personality. So it was greens and whites, but it was like maybe 12 different greens. And then the thread that I used for quilting was pearl cotton. But I used different colors as well. I had about 20 different greens. So I would do a length, and when I ran out, I would do a different length. And then when it came to doing the big white square ones, I thought it would be too busy with green, so I did those in white. And it actually looked really beautiful like that. I did her label with a vintage, like, embroidered tray cloth. So yeah, I'm really pleased. It's lovely. It's a shame I didn't do a video. I was too tired and too poorly. No video, which kind of breaks my heart a little bit because that's how I keep track of what I've made. But it's okay.
You can always do a quick one next time you see her.
Yeah, I probably won't. That kind of goes
Defeats
into the...
the- yeah.
It kind of feels a bit invasive because it's not her private property and she's a very private person, so that's okay. I'm still really thrilled that she has that, and we are very close friends, so it's lovely.
I just noticed your shoes. They are stunning. Can you show them on screen? Look at those!
Do you love my shoes with the handmade socks?
They are brighter red than they're coming up on that video. They are real poppy.
Okay,
Gorgeous.
I bought these. Remember for Easter I went on a trip up shopping with Martin, and then we had to turn back because there was something wrong with the camper. I found these in an op shop. It might have been in Timaru, I can't remember. $15, brand new, and they're an expensive brand. Let me just check. So I don't do brands. I don't really know New Zealand brands. Bresley.
Nice.
So I googled Bresley. New, they're $259.
Wow.
Like, I would never. But I love finding these shoes because I think what happens is people buy colored shoes because they think they can wear colored shoes, and then when they get home they realize
No, they're just not quite brave enough.
they're just not the people that can. So I end up with this,
Gorgeous.
which I love. And they're second hand, which makes me feel really happy. I've got another pair that's like grey and bright yellow with bright yellow ribbons.
Nice.
Again, $5 op shop. So,
Nice.
and it's like polka dotting.
It is. It's gorgeous. Everything about them is awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so that was my quilt story. I'm sorry I can't tell you anymore. What are you going to show us now? Oh my God, drum roll, drum roll. Dun, 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 dun.
For all of you who've been very confused about what the actual casket is, this is the casket. So, for the long time viewers, you will recognise these panels as ones I finished about a year ago. So they are now in the casket. Here's the bunny and the birdie. But, so there's going to be a big tree and a peacock with other critters and flowers on the top. So
Is this a lifting lid?
This is a lifting lid.
Ooh.
So I have to get a bit of chain or ribbon or something to...
Yeah.
And then these open. And the tree of life, that family tree thing that I've started stitching goes in here. And then my monograms go in here
nice.
and here.
And here and here, yeah.
Yep. And then in the drawer go all these boxes that I'll be making soon.
Nice. Oh, beautiful slide.
Beautiful.
It
These
doesn't
are all
get stuck or
handmade
anything.
by a proper cabinet maker, joiner person.
Oh, she's telling us she's not going to tell us how much she paid.
No.
So it'll make my eyes sting. But look at the feet. I love the feet. They're my favorite. Like, can you... No. Look at the feet. Okay, look how cute.
They're gorgeous.
I don't know. Look how cute they are. Like a little bun. They're very adorable.
But that's my
Oh,
casket.
anything on the back?
Yes, so there's a big panel that goes on the back. So I think there are 9 panels in total, and so I've got 7 more to do. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay, I'm a bit worried about something, Victoria.
5, 6, and the other side 7. What are you worried about?
Oh, okay. In the shadow, it looked like you had floating, but no, it's part of the design. Thank God.
Yeah, nothing is floating.
Look at those grapes. Remember the saga?
Oh,
of the
those
grapes?
grapes. I've got more grapes to put on the top.
It's very beautiful. Like, I love the
Gorgeous.
quality of the coffer. Casket makes me think of funerals.
I know.
Coffer sounds like good surprises.
So that is my casket. It is putting the front panels in was so inspiring, and I was all like, I'm going to go home and do all these other sewing things, and then I've done none.
You forgot you had like responsibilities and work and whatnot.
Yeah, and a filthy house.
I've just spotted something. Victoria was very excited because when she cancelled, she was like, I'm going to have an FFO.
You show your thing while I get this one.
Oh, okay. So I will show you. Oh, but this is... So my friend, I've got another friend who buys secondhand linen clothing and then gives me secondhand linen clothing when she's had enough of it, for whatever reason. She lost a bit of weight, so she was like, do you want my big clothes? It's very pretty. And I said, are you sure? Because once embroidery is on it, I'm not giving it back. Anyway, this is it.
I love it.
So this is Bleeding Heart Flowers. And I started doing like satin stitch, and then I was like, and then I did, this is a Mexican stitch.
Ooh.
I don't know what it's called, but it's like, maybe we call it fishtail in English. But anyway, it's a very common, popular Mexican stitch of, I want to say tenangos. Could be wrong. Anyway, so I did that. I did my baby Peter Pan collar. That looks like lace. I am very happy with that. Martin says that I oversold it, so he was a bit disappointed.
No, it's gorgeous.
Got little... I love it. I'm very happy. So you've got little details.
Are you going to take this away with you to wear?
Yes, because I'm going into summer. So then I've got a bit of chain stitch on the side, and then the pockets have a little detail. And then the hem. I love my hem. So my friend wore this as a dress, but I'm actually, for all my kookiness, I'm quite modest in my dress. So I would never wear this as a dress because it's above my knees. I actually wear it with trousers. It's so strange. But it's like it's a thing. I'm very modest in how I dress. Didn't used to be though. Look at that. So you've got the little... it's just like a wonky square with a white cross stitch in the middle and a little double satin stitch dot. I am very happy. And it's linen and it's pretty. And I love my Peter Pan collar. Ta-da. So I did this when I was ill. And you know, it takes you weeks to get a project started and then you get it done in a day. Why am I like this?
But yeah, the thinking and planning took longer than the doing.
Absolutely. So that's that. What have you got?
So my last thing
Drum
to
roll,
show
drum
you
roll, drum roll. Dun, dun.
is my book. All finished.
Holy macaroni.
All covered. Now,
Is this part of the same?
yes, yeah. So the pages in here, they were just loose bits of paper when we started. So is it caustic binding it? So you can't see because it's all glued in, but there's it's all laced together with string.
Sewed.
Sewed?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've got this beautiful marble paper. So you can see the edges of where the sewing comes out on the back and the front.
Okay, this makes me think, is the word in English missal or missal? Like what you take to church?
Ah!
Like a Catholic word?
I don't know.
Like I'm thinking missal. Are there any Catholics that speak English here? Is that a word? I'm thinking in Spanish it's a word. So I'm just thinking Catherine of Aragon would have had one.
Little prayer boxes. I think prayer box.
Oh, yeah, all right then.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound nearly as exciting.
But no, it doesn't. The front's definitely the big one. But there it is, people. Finished. All the
It's very
pearls
beautiful.
sewn on, the gold beads and sequins sewn on.
Yeah, but what do you have in it?
Oh, in it. So, when Marie teaches this book as just a standalone class, then it's just blank pages in there and you can, I don't know if anyone ever would, but you could write in it. But because I did the casket class, what she's done is she has put the whole story of how the casket came to be and her design process and thought and inspirations. So it's a lovely little piece because that's one of the side panels. So it's a lovely little piece that just ties it all together. There's the front panel.
No pun intended.
No. So that's the back panel, but obviously with, so it's just,
That's a pretty
that's
one.
the back panel. But it's all there. And in the very end, Marie's so lovely. She has put a photo of me sewing it that you took in class. So everyone got their own photo in their books.
Show me. I want to see that photo.
Your hands clean?
Yes. I wash my hands when I go to
I
the
know
toilet.
you did, I know.
For sure.
The barbecue sauce came off when I washed and blocked
I
it.
don't eat chips with my hands, honest. I think I'm a cutlery girl. Totally chips with cutlery.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fish and chips with
Oh, it's
cutlery.
printed. Like
It's
I thought it
printed.
was stuck on.
No, it's printed. So she's printed it on this this watercolor paper.
You've done such a beautiful job, Victoria. I think there should be clapping. When you watch this, there should be clapping for sure. I love the pearls. I'm totally getting
Into the
Catherine.
blank.
No, Catherine of Aragon.
Yes.
And Anne Boleyn, of course, same time period vibes. Your bird's pretty. Like, you're amazing. This is very beautiful. Oh, it's got a little snail. It's got a snail. There you go. I'll stop touching it now.
No, you're fine. You're fine. But it's
You don't want someone that licks their finger to turn
The thing
pages.
is, most people, yeah, that's true. Most people will just hold it by the pearls, or the gold will protect the linen a bit. But I don't care. It's done now.
Oh my God.
I'm thrilled.
How long did this take you?
Well, when did we start sewing it? When did I properly start? End of February?
I don't know. I have Instagram. Instagram tells me how my life rolls out.
Yeah.
So I just went back for my quilt and I could find the very first posting. You weren't able to do that?
No,
No.
I don't do that. So, I mean, watch the Flosstube video. You'll see when I properly started
That's
it.
true.
Start of the year. And it's the moment I'm keeping it with wrapped in paper, just at the top and the bottom, and little rubber bands around it, because the pages and the books and everything in the book needs to settle so it won't spring open. I think you just keep it forced closed for a while, and then it will just do its thing.
I now feel like I need to find out if missile is a word in English.
And that was my great adventure.
That was your... Oh, I don't have internet. Why don't I have internet?
I don't know, you should do.
It's 4G.
Are you out of, I wonder if you're not even logged into the Wi-Fi.
That's very strange.
Hmm.
Why? Because I always have internet. It's data.
Yeah, because it's data, because you're unlimited, aren't you?
Because I get it paid by work.
I wasn't going to say that.
Why? I don't understand. But it says 4G.
Yeah. I don't know. I wonder if there's a line knocked down or something.
True.
So that's all I have to show you, because I've done nothing else.
Okay, cool. So I've got one more thing to show you. So this is for my mini quilt thing. I have posted a video in English with Fiona because we're doing the thing with her. So I'm not going to talk about them all because you can just go back and look at the video and you can see hers as well, which are also very beautiful. I may have got a bit obsessed. We have to do one. I made 6.
So now the theme, if I recall correctly, is that you'd given each other fabric.
The theme is Indian fabrics, which I happen to get in India, and so I thought, well, I'll share it with everybody. It'll be really interesting to see what we come up with, even though we have the same fabrics.
Yep.
And it was very interesting. So this one is a Manx quilt. I've made one for me and one for my sister that are exactly the same because my sister now lives on the Isle of Man. So that's exciting.
So you're going to take one over with you when you go?
I need to
when
do
you
the
say
things at the
exactly
back.
the same, are they the same size?
They're the same size. Well,
Because this is very square for you. Like, this looks very measured and...
yeah, because it's hard not to be square if you start with a square.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe there's like 3 millimeters between them. Yeah. But because of this style of construction and the way I cut it is like I use my previous length to measure my next length. Like I'm not getting a ruler out. I'm just like eyeballing it using a previous cut fabric.
It's gorgeous.
And I did a knife edge on the edge. Yeah, I mean, let's see if my sister likes it. But I just thought it was cute that we would have the same quilt. I do need to do hangers for the back. Oh, and I made another one because one of my very dear friends who's had a big operation, she saw these and she was like, Catherine, you have 2. Who are they for? And I said, well, one's for my sister And she said, and the other one? I said, for me, so that my sister and I have the same. And then she had this big operation that I was like, oh, I'll have to make her one. So I made her one.
Oh, you're good.
But no Indian fabrics. I just made it in all the hand dyed. So it was like beiges and yellows and then the pinks on the other side.
Lovely. I love your hand-dyed stuff.
It is very lovely. I don't know if I've got it on Instagram because I couldn't post it because she follows me on Instagram until I'd given it to her. Anyway, I've also made these. And you can hear the story about why I've made pairs. And I love that they're not straight. I just love this. Gladdens my heart.
Are these aren't with your Indian fabrics, are they?
Yeah.
Oh,
These are all Indian fabrics.
beautiful.
How could you not see?
Well, they look very different from those ones.
Because these are my naturally dyed fabrics and these are my Indian fabrics.
Oh, nice.
She says her iron levels are good now.
Well, I'm still just gearing up from my last...
Yeah. One is wondering. You can see the backs. You can see... I particularly love this because it's like a 17th century botanical illustration to me.
It's gorgeous.
Love it. And then I was also playing around with things. This one has one more square of the Indian fabric versus this one. So I was trying to see visually what difference that makes. And these are the backs. And I'm very thrilled. I live in a tiny little house. I need to stop making things to hang there. Poor Martin is... He really would like me to just like reduce the amount of work that I do.
No.
It's okay because I'm giving work
Look,
away
you're giving
now.
it away. Yeah, you've made 2 things to give away.
And one of them was a big quilt.
Yeah. Well,
So-
3 things then, because I was thinking you've got the little quilt for your sister, a little quilt for your friend, and then your big quilt.
Yeah.
You're doing very well.
And if you're younger than me, you will come to the age where you're like, I love to make, I'll just give things away because I love to make. And it's really lovely. There are people that can't make because of life circumstances, or sometimes their brain's not like that and they've never had an opportunity. They're so grateful. I mean, you have to ask. You can't just foist things on people. But I have found that the people that I surround myself with are so grateful to be given beautiful things because they just don't make stuff like that. But I am thinking that because I do like to make things and I want to continue to knit, for example, and I don't need stuff, I'm taking a baby blanket pattern and lace weight yarn to knit on my holiday because that's very light and it'll probably take me 3 months to make it. So I'll get quite a bit done on holiday. But then I thought when I come back to New Zealand, I can make, you know, like my orange blanket on the back of my sofa. I thought I can make that. It takes me 4 or 5 months. It's actually, for the amount of time, it's not that expensive. And then I can donate it to former refugee families that come to New Zealand.
Yeah.
Because mostly they're really cold when they arrive.
Yeah.
And so they'll be glad to receive a beautiful gift like that for their home. Make them feel more at home.
Yeah,
So,
that's a lovely idea.
yeah, you just have to think of like, you know.
Yeah, and it keeps you occupied because I know you do a lot of your knitting when you're driving. Like it squares you away. From...
Martin's driving. I'm not
Martin's
knitting
driving.
and driving.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're not. I know you're not in that space, and you do very specific work. But there are people out there, and they're just like, I love to knit, but my grandchildren are older, and they don't want knitted stuff. And it's like, what can you do? There is a lot of need in the community still, so you can do stuff like that.
Oh, it's a fabulous idea.
Yeah, and I have one of my friends, her husband used to be a lecturer, so she would knit a stack of beanies, and then when he had lectures, he would put them at the end of his lectern or whatever, and then at the end of the lecture he'd say, my wife has knitted these beanies, if you need a beanie, come and grab one.
Nice.
How cute is
That's
that?
lovely.
Yeah. So, yeah, lots of things like that to do. So yeah, that's it. That's
Lovely.
it.
We're done.
So I am hoping to make progress with cross stitch when I come back. So as I said, I'm going to disappear for 5 full weeks. We probably won't film in that first week back.
So we'll see
you
you
might
in...
feel inspired to film whilst I'm away, maybe. I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully you'll have a lovely interlude.
Yeah.
Keep warm if you're in winter and enjoy summer as it approaches if you're in a hot country.
Yeah. Stay safe.
Free Palestine, as always. And obviously that's a thing. If you have enjoyed a podcast, donate to Palestine. Help a family that's desperate. That's what I would say. if you've enjoyed anything that we do, even if you don't like my stuff, but you love Victoria's, I'm just appropriate in Victoria's stuff and say donate to Palestine.
Definitely.
That would be wonderful.
It is a cause I support.
Yeah, I post on my stories sometimes, so that would be great. Okay, have a good time.
Kaki day. And we're back.
And we're back because...
It hasn't been 6 weeks and Catherine is not just back from Europe.
I'm back just to say I'm so clever. Missal is a word, and we're going to tell you what it means. Missal, a book containing the texts used in the Catholic Mass throughout the year. The bookcase, this is an example. The bookcase contained an assortment of old prayer books, missals, and devotional pamphlets. So very totally Catherine of Aragon.
Absolutely.
I hope that is pronounced missal. It feels to me like it would be pronounced missal because it's a double S, M-I-S-S-A-L. So anyway, there you go. Content you didn't need, but we're just gifting to you.
Kaki day.